Oh, hello. Welcome to the Flow State podcast. Welcome back. It's another episode. My voice is a bit scratchy. It was the grand final weekend, but don't worry about that. It's the fucking episode 39 Flow State Spooktacular, apparently. Yes. Broden, what are your thoughts on all this?
It's going to be spooky. The scariest thing I've got to say is these headphones look like they came out of a witch's asshole. But you know what? It's fine.
Hey, you want to know? I got one person to thank. I got heaps of people to thank. But the first and foremost person I need to thank for making this podcast and this podcast studio a reality and all the crazy red lighting, backlighting, all the shit you're seeing right now is thank you to our sponsor, Mudsy's Audio Solutions.
Mudsy, you fucking legend.
You've done it again, haven't you?
Mudsy's a fucking champion, boys and girls and everything in between. We are very happy to have Mudsy on board as a major sponsor, and he's hooked us up and made us look so sexy. Look at this red, spooky ass lighting. Yeah. Cody, you got some spooky... Are you a little bit out of focus? Let me fix that up.
Fix it up. We fix as we go on this podcast.
That's right.
It's a. There we go.
I think the lens is a little misaligned because once I actually dropped it from quite a tall drop.
Well, that's what happens. Hey, listen, thanks to all the patrons out there who continue to be Patreons on the patrons, and thank you to everyone who will become one in the future for just as little as $1 a month, United States currency. Also, go to our website, buy some t-shirts, buy some merch. Hey, but continue to belt the fucking Flow State podcast up your ass. We love it. Belt it.
Belt it, and belt it a little bit more. Enjoy episode 39, the Spooktacular.
Yep. So we're back.
Yep. We're here, and it's Spooktown. Spooktown it is, I suppose.
You're a bit of a Halloween man, aren't you? You always have been.
No, not really. Not really. It's one of those things that I've never really adopted 100%, but I do love spooky shit. So it's a good time.
Well, yeah, spooky shit is pretty. It's entertainment at the end of the day. Hey, before we get started, I'm gonna crack a beer.
All right.
As we generally do on the Flow State podcast. Thanks to Moondog Craft Brewery for their Old Mate Pale Ale.
That's right. Who do not sponsor this podcast.
They do not. We're no way affiliated with anyone apart from Mudsy's Audio Solutions.
That's right. And he runs that risk, okay? he runs it.
But hey, that's not to say that we don't love all the beers that we drink here.
That's right.
On the
and
Flow
you can
State
see the selection here of beers.
And up on the shelf.
On the back shelf there. I've already cracked one of my Deeds Brewing juice trains. Which is a lovely, lovely drop. You can see there in a blue can. What a fantastic... It really is a juicy train. And there'll be other beers throughout the night.
I absolutely love breweries, independent breweries.
That's right.
And, if the price were right, I'd definitely advocate for their sale.
That is one of the things that really drives my purchasing of alcohol is the price.
Yeah.
Because as you'll know, when I walk into a bottle shop, there's a certain fridge that I'll go to, and if there's anything over $6 a can, which is very expensive as it is, you know what I'm saying. But I'm here for a good time, not a cheap time. But I find it hard to sometimes commit to those $12 cans that are four fucking average drinks.
But I don't know, they rope you in.
They definitely do.
But you can have a lot of fun with these. These are the real deal. Like these, let's not go into too many namings.
No. But I've never regretted.
IPA, man.
Oh, they're the shit. I love them. They're really tasty. I've never regretted any time that I've ever spent $10, $12 on a beer. Like if you go to a pub, you're going to spend $10, $12 on a fucking Canadian Club and dry, right?
Well, you're going to spend This is the way I look at it. A pint is $12.
Really?
It's $12 for a good pint.
It's been a long time since I've drank in a pub.
Yeah. And you wouldn't be a pint man, I don't reckon. I reckon you'd be
I have pints. It just depends on what of.
Yeah. So I reckon if you want a drafty, you're paying 10, 11.
Yeah.
10, 11.
Yeah.
But if you want the good stuff, $12.
12 plus.
And like if you're getting a 4-pack of Juice Train, $20.
Oh man, I'll take it.
Oh yeah,
$20 is a small investment into my happiness.
Hey, there was talk about all this COVID ruining the economy and stuff. It's like the one way to build it back is to remove the beer tax in Australia. Can you imagine how good that would be to bring back the prices of old without that ridiculous tax that we have.
Yes, we should do the same for cigarettes, you see, so all the kids can start smoking on the school grounds again.
There's absolutely no reason that they shouldn't be.
Well, you see, for every cigarette sold, a good 70% of that goes to the government or something. You know, I'm not really good with numbers or anything.
Yeah, but you got to think about all the cardboard manufacturing.
Exactly, yeah. Now they're not even allowed to put their own bloody pictures on it.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
The artwork that they used to make was absolutely magnificent. The cigarette artwork. And now they've been forced out of a job. The cigarette painters.
You've cost bloody cigarette painters. You've cost graphic designers, hard-working bloody Australians, jobs, working for bloody the British and American Tobacco Company.
I couldn't agree more. It's an absolute disgrace that people can't even buy a packet of cigarettes without taking out a mortgage, for fuck's sake. Packet of cigarettes these days will cost you $40 for a pack of 25s. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's my bloody choice, I tell you. It's my choice.
If I want to smoke until I die, I'll bloody do it. I don't need to be forking money hand over a fist, left, right and centre every time I go to the bloody supermarket to get a fucking packet of cigarettes. It's fucking bullshit.
I've never smoked so many cigarettes that I've lost control of me fucking vehicle and run over a family or let alone lost me bloody house and me car to the fucking government, have I? You can do that with bloody alcohol and gambling, and they're fucking legal and encouraged for that matter.
Well, that's right. They absolutely are. I couldn't agree more. I can go down to the tote tomorrow and put $50 on the fucking a horse that's going to lose and ruin my family and not fucking feed them and what have you, but I can't even light up a cigarette and smoke it in the privacy of my own home.
Nor the privacy of anybody else's home. You know, I remember when you could go into Kmart, look for clothes while you had a fucking cigarette.
I remember you could ride the bus and have a durry.
You know, I do have a really vivid memory of going to the Lancel Plaza in Bendigo where the Kmart was.
And there's ashtrays, like those ashtrays, you can walk by them in the clothes section.
Man, I remember I was 5, and I was 4 or 5.
Can you remember that? I
can remember that. I was 4 or 5, right? And I was going to pick up, I was getting a little, it was called a Brat bike. It was before Bratz dolls. It was this bike, and it had Brat written on it because I was obviously a
little brat.
Yeah, a little piece of shit.
Yeah, like Bad Boy.
Yeah, like Bad Boy, but this is like a Kmart version of that. Yeah. So I've gone with Mum and my Auntie Janet. Sorry, Auntie Janet, I'm doxing you here. We've gone down to the Kmart, you know, and Mum's got to go into the supermarket, whatever, and I'm being a little shit. We're fucking with my bike with the tassels, green, black and green, cool as hell. And we sit down, in front of like where the chicken shop is or whatever, and Auntie Janet just goes fucking inside like a boss. You could do that shit. I remember you could smoke in McDonald's, for crying out loud. It was the fucking. I was obviously too young, but
like that isn't that just like the perfect? Like you eat McDonald's, you're having a Coke that's jam-packed filled with sugar. You may as well have a cigarette.
You might as well.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 doctors recommend Marlboro.
Yeah, exactly. You may as well round that meal off. There's a piece of that pie missing.
I tell you what, though, when I was a smoker and not heavy, but like a very, very prominent one, I knew how to do it. One of my favourite things in the world to do was to have when Vanilla Coke had come out, right? Just sugar extravaganza.
Yeah. Oh, when did Vanilla Coke come out?
Man, that would have been in Australia. It would have been like early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Yeah, 3, I recall
4, 5. Yeah.
And it was a game changer. Cherry Coke, good now.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, not so good. But you grow old. As you grow older, you're like, Cherry Coke's fucking
Cherry
good.
Coke was the business, man. Yeah. I had a friend at school, Tez, and her dad. I don't want to throw too many names out, get anyone in trouble or anything. There's no trouble.
You're throwing names left, right.
I'm throwing names left. Everyone's under the bus. If I'm going down, you're fucking coming down with me.
Yes, everyone, you're fucked.
So Tez's old man used to deal Coke, like actual Coca-Cola. He was the Coke distributor or whatever. He was a rep or whatever.
Yeah. The guys who wear the fucking blue cargo shorts.
Yeah. And so
trolleys full of Coke.
Because of that, she had access to all the cool Coke flavors before they came out. So I remember having Cherry Coke a full fucking solid month before anyone else had even hit the shelves, man.
Yeah, that's a big claim.
And because Tez would bring in, hey man, you guys want to try some Coke, boys? And we just go, yeah, hey, and we have you'd pour it into the cap and just have all try and go, zing, 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 zing.
Yeah, so he was essentially a Coke dealer.
Tez is a
Coke
female
dealer. She was a
Coke dealer.
Yeah, sorry.
She was a Coke dealer.
She was a Coke dealer, but acted like a Coke dealer.
She did, yeah. And she's still...
In both...
Yeah. Man, she acted like a drug dealer when she was dealing sugary goods.
Yeah, and you were all taking it in the back room. Try it out. Getting a buzz.
But the best thing years later when I became a smoker, sorry... nothing against you guys. You do what you fucking like. It's great. But when I was full-time smoking, one of my favourite things to do was to have a bag of Red Rock Deli or Kettle salt and balsamic vinegar chips. just like the ones that rip your fucking face apart when you eat them.
Yeah.
And then so you'd have a draggy cigarette, and then you'd have, it's kind of like one of those shots, like you have the chaser with the lemon and the salt.
Yeah,
it's like you'd have a draggy
tequila slammer.
Don't smoke, kids, it's horrible. And then you'd have a smash of these chips, and they just fuck your palate up. And then you'd drown it with that sugary vanilla Coke goodness, man.
Fucking hell.
It was paradise. I remember just vividly going, it doesn't get any better than this.
This early grave's going to be lovely.
It's going to be a fucking well-packed, padded grave for a big fat me. And, I'm working my way up to it, you see.
Hey, look, man, like there's a cognitive benefit.
A what?
Cognitive
benefit. Cognitive. I was like, what? He's making up words now.
I went a little bit wanky.
That's right. You got to get confuzzled.
Yeah, that's right. Through smoking a cigarette, and there's no doubt that there is an addictive nature to it. And for people who smoke, I'm not one of these people who's like, why? Because I like to dabble.
Don't you know that's bad for your health?
Yeah, but I like to. So when people say that, it's like, yeah, I understand it, because when I'm train, like when I feel like I want to get fit, which is like half the year, and the other half year I just spend it smoking cigarettes and getting fat and drinking. And then there'll come a time where I wake up in the morning and go, hey, maybe I should get fit now, and then everything will just go out the window. So it's like, I totally understand what it is. I'm like one of these lucky people that don't get completely hooked, where it's like, oh fuck, I don't care how much money I have, I've got to get me darts. I need them, otherwise I won't function.
That's kind of like an on and off addict sort of thing. Like you
Maybe
can quit whenever you want, but you can start whenever you fucking like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I should. Yeah, like the data's in.
Yeah.
They're no good for you. And still
it's
people...
comprehensive data that's also inconclusive. Oh, it's conclusive data that you're...
But it's definitely a... well, Tommy Russell come on and he was speaking about it's not even the nicotine. It's not even the fucking shit you take in from the cigarette. On the addictive front, it can even be as simple as just the gesture. Like seeing someone doing that is like, oh, that looks like fun. I want to give that a try.
It's the oral fixation. Like, watching Brad Pitt eat on TV, and for some reason you want to suck his... not that kind of oral fixation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for me, it's fucking... Right, so I'm going to be at a place. All my friends are going to be standing around having dart. Like, they're going to go outside at one point. Yeah. And I enjoy a cigarette. I enjoy smoking. I really enjoy a cigar. Don't mind the old... chauffeur and that.
Oh, we can't be bloody advocating that one. It's not,
yeah, we'll cut that out.
That's right. We won't.
No, just any sort of smoke in me lungs.
Yeah,
I like, and and when my friends are all going out to do that, and I know I'm not, it's like, oh, well, fuck, I like going out there and having a chat.
You got FOMO.
Different chats happen when people are having the darts.
It's true.
Like you can be inside talking about like, oh, lovely decor in here. I love the artwork and stuff. And then as soon as you go, anyone want a cigarette? You go out and then it's just like, yeah, so how is your father? Is he well? Has he still got cancer and stuff? It gets all deep.
But you can have that conversation inside and it's not really, you got nothing to do with your hands. But like, that's the thing is, if you're outside and you're having a chat with your mate or whatever and you're like, you want to know how his dad is, you'd be like, how's Dad doing? Is he all right?
Yeah, because you use it to dramatically pause.
Exactly.
Don't you?
Yeah, you can tell better stories.
So you can sort of build the tension.
Exactly.
Like,
they're waiting for it.
To go, what are you going to ask me?
What's he going to ask? This better be important because he's got a light his cigarette. He's really thinking about it that time.
Yeah,
but I always
absolutely.
used to.
That's a thing. We've just stumbled across that too.
One of my favourite things to do was over exaggerate my cigarette gestures. Right, so I'd have one in my mouth and I'd go.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'd act like I was chewing the smoke, and it was the funniest shit in the world. Sometimes you'd go. And then you get one over the back of your head and you can put it in your mouth. Just funny shit you could do. There's a lot of comedy that can happen with a single cigarette. There's a lot of fucking funny things that can happen.
Absolutely.
But I suppose when you say about the oral fixation thing, that's probably one of the benefits of vaping, which they're trying to make illegal, or tax, so they can get their hands on a little bit of that cash, that sweet fucking green.
Is it not severely detrimental to your health as well?
Oh, man, well, anything you suck into your lungs, it's supposed to be for air. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be for anything else. It's a foreign object, and when you cough, that's your body's, I suppose, as a biologist, natural reaction to something that's not supposed to be there, a foreign body inside your lungs.
Yeah.
It's just, you go to get it out. And putting water, which is what vaping is, it's fucking water vapor essentially, or vapor of whatever you put in there. Well, probably not a fucking good idea either.
Well, it's pneumonia at the end of the day.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what's the alternative? You smash in a bunch of fucking tar and you choke on it and get cancer. So you either get a little bit of pneumonia at some point, which they can probably drain. I don't know. I don't know anything about this shit. Don't listen to me, anybody. Yeah. You came here for fucking medical advice. You're in the wrong spot.
Yeah. We're just talking about, I don't know why we're talking about darts, but
we're just two guys having a fucking conversation.
That's all we are, okay?
Yeah, calm fucking down, all right? You're writing letters to fucking the government about us.
Yeah, surprisingly, no one's actually had anything to say. No one's come to us and gone, I can't believe you fucking said that. We've had the odd episode pulled down because of personal reasons.
Yeah, that's fine. That's normal stuff.
Yeah, you gotta expect that. But no one's come to us and said, I can't believe you said that. Maybe it's because no one listens to it.
Well, not in Sri Lanka. They're
yeah, well, no one in Sri Lanka's having a problem with it. I don't know where we are on the charts there now. Yeah. Hopefully, we're still number one.
That'd be great. I'd be happy to take a number one. I'd be happy to take a number two. Hey,
yeah, the Kings of Bombay.
Kings
of
Bombay
baby.
are back. That's right.
So what are we doing here today? We're having a beer. You've come here. You've come here with things.
I have. I've got things, and there are things here. Like we've got, obviously, I've got some beers. I should have taken that emergency piss before that you recommended, and I didn't.
Yeah, because
that's okay. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop this just to have a piss because
I'm not bloody doing it.
I'm not bloody doing it. That's a great burp.
But
there are things. Burp. There are things, Cody, and the difference between today and every other day is that it's the episode 39 Spooktacular.
Correct.
And as I did mention, I'd like a bit of a spook. Like a bit of a scare.
Yeah. What is it about that you like? What is it about this time of year that makes people all of a sudden get into the spook?
Well, it's
a pagan holiday.
It's just a little bit of light Satanism for the soul,
Yeah. Because it originates from Satanism, doesn't it?
Oh, who fucking knows? I think it's a Scottish or Irish holiday or something like that.
Yeah, it's Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just one of those. I don't subscribe to the Halloween thing, right? But what I do think is cool is just everybody getting a bit Addams Family for a couple of days. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's embrace that shit and have a good time. All the goths get to dress normal.
Yeah,
for once, they're just normal people for the fucking day, and that's all they really want. Hug a goth, guys, because they just want to blend in too.
Yeah, goths are a thing of the past, man.
Are they really? Do you reckon they are?
I don't see any.
Remember emus?
You see emos. You've got to go to Melbourne to see
emus. I thought they were emus. They got the same haircuts.
You've got to go to Melbourne to get a good goth.
Get a good goth, do you?
Yeah, you got to go to train stations.
You can't have those regional Victorian goths. You got to go down. You got
to look behind the vending machines at
arcades.
At train stations, because and they'll be there with their hands in their sleeves, just standing there.
That's not goths, man. That's fucking homeless people. The hands are in their sleeves because they have to stretch out a t-shirt.
Oh, is that why they're so pale? Because they're ill.
Yeah, because they've got heroin in their bodies.
Yeah, okay.
But
no, you get a good goth every now and then. If you jump on a tram, late on a Saturday night, you'll get a goth.
But most of the goths now, because it's such a fucking a refined art form, they've all got a porn site or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no just walking the street. It's all like, hey, do you want to see more? Subscribe for $7.99 or whatever.
Gothic girls.
Exactly, yeah. And there's no down the street goths. Like that used to be the shit back in the day. No street, just regular. Bring back street goths, guys. And not only that, the black fingernails, that's not enough. I'm talking leather spikes. I'm talking go full Rob Halford and paint your face white.
How fucking going on that because they were like high school cliches, weren't they? And there was a different. You had to subscribe to one. You couldn't just be out of the box.
No, but it was how far into emo you wanted to go because for my age, it was the kids that were like, yeah, I love my Chemical Romance, and also hurt myself and I'm not going to go into that because that's obviously a mental health issue. But there's guys who were really into that kind of stuff and also self harm.
And some people they go to the next level and they do the makeup.
Yeah, the makeup every day, and then they get into swordcraft and all that kind of shit, which is cool because that's a constructive. Goth is a gateway to live action role playing, and that's a positive thing because it's a community. And then they find out, fuck, I can have friends and still I don't need to have black hair dye. This is great. I can function again.
It's kind of cringe. It's kind of horrible. I hope those things don't exist in schools anymore because it's like
goths. Don't call them those things. They're people too.
No, I mean the what are they called? The fucking they're not cliches, but it's like
the stereotypes.
The
stereotypes. Yeah.
There's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
You get sporty dude.
Yep.
Fucking the jock. Which is probably where the category I felt closest to.
Then you got obviously the goths, nerds.
No. Yeah, well, they were one, weren't they?
Yeah, but like, and I remember nerds became sexy for a little while, and all the girls were like wearing like fake big, fucking rimmed glasses with like clear lenses that didn't actually do anything, and like putting their hair in pigtails, trying to look like Britney Spears.
It's all weird shit, isn't it? It's like, fuck, just
be yourself, man.
Yeah, no one's being themselves, are they? They're all picking a little character to play at school.
That's the best thing.
And that's what everyone still does in adulthood is they pick a character.
A role.
Pick a fucking real estate agent character if you want. Exactly. And then you can go around talking with your hands everywhere. It's like, okay, guys, we got a big one for you. Fucking, and they're just characters. Like you can meet them at a wedding, and you're like, you're the same real estate agent I met last week at the last wedding.
Stoners was another stereotype of school because they're like, I'm old enough to discover drugs.
Stoners are probably the coolest ones because they're probably more in line,
more relaxed.
Yeah,
they're trying to figure out. At least they're trying to figure out who they are, and not pretending to be someone.
They're having internal thoughts too. They're getting all paranoid about what they look like and shit, and it's good. That's good for you. That healthy sort of paranoia.
Except the dreadlocks, man. They always would have their dreadlocks a little bit too long. Like not long in length. I mean, long in time.
I had a mate who had dreadlocks for about 6 weeks. It was cool, and then he had bugs. Like you could you could visually see bugs buzzing around in there, and we all went, "Oh, dude, you got bugs in your dreadlocks." Next day they were gone.
And then you go from being that stereotype of the stoner kid with or the whatever to the smelly kid, and no one wants to be the smelly kid.
Yeah. There's always a kid who like. It couldn't wipe his ass, but he was like normal still. No, I shouldn't say normal. Normal's not the right term. He wasn't. I don't know. I'm gonna dig myself into a hole here, but he had no challenge. He had no mental challenges other than he couldn't wipe his ass, and everyone could smell it.
Maybe he had fecophobia. I don't know what's that. That's the opposite of fecophilia. He was afraid of shit. I'm afraid of shit. Everyone's afraid of shit.
Did you have one at school
that I was, or
no? Just you could just smell.
Oh yeah, no. Of course you did. Everyone had some, but the thing is that it was normally me.
Okay, well, you were the one.
But that's the thing is that, I don't even know where I fell. Other people would be able to watch this and go, oh, that fuckhead, yeah, remember he was this. I don't know what I was, though, because I still don't know who I am. So, I mean, we're all trying to figure it out, really.
No one knows who they are.
No one. You can't figure it out, except for Kanye West. I learned from watching
Jim
that
Carrey.
episode.
Jim Carrey found it out too.
He figured it out.
Remember he went full I don't even know who I am. Yeah. No one knows who they are.
He had a rough time though, and he started like, those people who did like, I'm woke now, I've deprogrammed myself. He kind of did that, except he didn't go down the rabbit hole. He's like, okay, I figured out who I am. I also understand that I need to function in a regular society, and I need to get back to work and do these things. Like he needs to work ever again, really, but he needs to do something to fulfill his soul.
So he keeps being the character, which he calls it.
Jim Carrey. That's right.
I keep doing that because that's what the people want. That's my
exactly. job. But he also, I understand that he, may feel himself as a bit of a different spiritual being.
Is there any realness to that, would you have thought? Given the shit that we've spoken with Mr. David Icke about, that all that shit links up. So it's all connected to a point where it's like, and it sort of does make sense as well.
Yeah.
To the point.
Are we both? Yeah.
Sorry, a bit of camera problems there. To the point where no one really knows what the fuck or who the fuck.
Yeah.
They are.
That button. Hang on one sec.
Let's sort this out.
Sorry, listeners. You don't get to see. There we go, Cody. You're back.
We have cameras here that they don't. We need to upgrade the cameras. That's right.
Cameras or Canon, just to go off on a quick tangent. Canon, the company who makes cameras, I know you're working on the app that changes your DSLRs into a webcam. Can you fucking speed it up a little? I know you got the Windows one. I can't even get it because you know what? It doesn't support Windows 7, which is the only Windows that anyone wants to use. I mean, I'm sure tens of millions of people will disagree with me on that, but fuck, can you just make it support Windows 7 for crying out loud, and then just get the Mac version so we can actually use it?
Yeah,
that's all. Cop that,
Mr. Cannon.
That's my first warning. All right, first warning. One more, and I'm gonna have to get the bloody something else out, and you'll watch out.
Yeah, you never want him to get that out.
You don't want to see what's going on your cameras in my fucking house, I'll tell you that much.
That's right. Yeah.
Did I just say that? Fuck.
Where were we?
Trying to figure out who Jim Carrey is.
Yeah. No. So do you reckon there's any truth to that? Because David Icke preaches the same shit, and when you think about it deeply enough, you go, all you are is fucking memory.
But what are you even? Like, what's the thing? How does this move? This is for listeners. I'm twiddling my fingers.
You're going even deeper than now. So on the personality front, it's like all you are is the shit that you've been, is your experience. So everything that you've ever done, ever witnessed, ever seen, ever learned, ever fucking experienced, ever.
And you're just a little.
You're a culmination of that, and you've taken the shit that you thought was good, and you've gone, that's what I'll try and be.
And that's all you are, is a little story, And that's the thing, is a lot of people.
Your memories, that's it.
Yeah, then your memories, but the people don't realize that you can create those yourself, and they get caught up in, I'm just going with whatever's going on. Oh, this shut down, I can't do that anymore. It's like, well, you can take it upon yourself to make that again somewhere else. Do it somewhere else. Don't just get swept up in doing it. You actually get to create what your memories are going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I reckon it's the norm for people, and I really consciously make an effort to not do this, is to just go along with the flow the same as every single other person in the world does. You know what I mean? And I don't mean every single other person. I know there's people with individual... Like, people want to fucking...
Exactly.
Do shit, but there's a lot of people who don't even give a fuck.
No, man.
And they're quite happy getting their job so they can pay the bills and have kids, which I think that's like... If there's any, like, natural goal, something that you're meant to be here for, it's probably that, to procreate, like every other fucking animal is, right? But some people don't want that. So you better find meaning somewhere else. And it better be good. It better be better than fucking having kids.
Yeah.
And if it's not, you'll probably get pretty fucking depressed at some stage in your life.
That just depends on the personality too. But that's the thing, is the difference between living a passive lifestyle in which everybody kind of just goes along with what's going on and deciding what you want and making the pathways clear to that.
Yeah.
The kids situation, that's circumstantial to what people desire, and they create that path. They decide they don't want to do that. They'll do everything they can to avoid that. Unless they don't buy a $1 fucking rubber thing that goes on their cock.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
But that's the thing, is a lot of the people go, I don't want to do what everyone's doing and all that shit, so I'm going to do whatever I want. And then they end up my age, 30, going, fuck, I've got nothing to me name. I don't have a family. I don't have this. And they get real sad. And it's like, well, maybe the reason everyone else did that is because it's really good. Like, a lot of people want to go against it just because people are doing it. And it's like, maybe it's actually just like really, really good. And that's why everyone goes and buys a house at 20 and then gets married at 22 and then has kids at 25 and after they've been traveling around the world. Maybe it's the cut and copy, cookie cutter fucking lifestyle because it's like really, really good. I can't tell you because I didn't do that. Maybe I should have. But guess what? I'm not going to go sit there and go, I should have done. I'm going to go, well, guess what? I didn't do it. What am I going to do? Buy synths.
But
that's the answer.
Well,
no,
Yeah, but like... Though it may be good for those people doing it, that's all that matters. There's no rule book, and there's no fucking thing that's going to make, I should have done that because then I'd be happy. Fuck off. You got no idea. Something happened with Khabib, massive win, 29-0 on the weekend. Right, and I've been looking into all this shit. Like, and I think he had a fucking press conference. He was like, everything my father teach me is work hard. You cannot expect to get anywhere without working hard. Yeah. And all this shit, just work hard and you'll get it. And like, if there's anything, like, if his career isn't a testament to what his dad fucking instilled into him, and like, if his legacy isn't a representation of that, then it's like, I don't know what is. So that sort of inspired me to the point where it's like, yeah, I can sit here and I can say I would like to work harder and achieve more goals that I have, because I know what I want. I know what it is I want. I want to have a good podcast that is successful, and I want to do stand-up comedy. We all know I want that because I've been doing it for 5 years. I want to write. I want to do all this stuff. I want to be creative. But am I putting in the amount of effort that will pay dividends? Probably not. And Khabib's win on the weekend was like a reminder for that, because it was like, yeah, you keep saying to everyone this is what you want to do, but do I work hard? No, I don't. I don't work hard as it requires for me to actually get success in this. I work nowhere near. Like, you should be working around the clock, not just putting in your hour every week, not just fucking showing up when it's on. You should be just doing it constantly. And I feel like that is the key to success. Definitely 100% is like, imagine, like, I was thinking about it. It's like, if I can imagine me putting in actual effort, like putting in, saying, right, I'm going to work hard for 6 months. Granted, I had the money to pay for it and stuff like that. This is another thing that you got to cross. But it's like, you can whinge about that until the cows come home, and then that's just another excuse. Yeah. But it's like, if I did that for 6 months, there's no limit. There's no fucking limit. And everyone is the same, regardless of what they want to do. It's like, you can be so much more than you are, and you fucking know it. It's a Jordan Peterson quote. But nobody puts in that extra effort. And if you are, then you're doing great things. But the people, like, so many people will have the sob story, and it's like, I'll do it too. It's like, I'll get upset when someone else gets success or something like that. And it's a real toxic sort of way of thinking. It's like, I should be just fucking writing shit or making shit or doing what I want to do instead of fucking not doing it.
Yeah.
And thinking about doing it.
But then there's a question there that you gotta answer yourself, that hopefully you've asked yourself, and I'll ask it to you now. What are you going to do about it?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
that's the question. What are you going to fucking do about it?
Yeah.
Because, this is the thing. Realistically, can you dedicate every hour of, waking hour for 6 months to that? No.
Well, I can definitely do more.
You can do more. But that's the thing is, I know that, when we can't all be Jimmy Crute who fucking sleeps at the back of the gym, right?
Yeah, well, that's another example.
That's the thing. He's pushing and he's getting to where he needs to go. We talked about him last week, but he's doing it. But that's the thing is that realistically, you've got to pay the fucking bills. You got to do your normal thing. You got to, make sure you actually fucking get a bit of mental health going on by talking to people. You can't just lock yourself up and write comedy all day, because you won't write anything funny, because you won't have the experience.
It's true.
In life to do that. Unless you write about, hey, how funny is it staying at home all day and just trying to write stuff and not getting anywhere? Good joke.
But there's a point where you got to look at what you're doing on a day to day and go, right, I'm not doing as much as I should.
Yeah.
And everyone knows, everyone knows that that's going on. Other people, everyone has different ways of coping with it by going, oh yeah, but I had work, so then, and they justify it. Yeah. It's the same as when people don't exercise.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like,
I'm tired after work, and I just want to go to bed.
And I had to cook, and then I had to clean. Yeah. It's like, people like Crute, when he was training, like, he had to cook and clean.
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck, he just did it.
But it becomes, I feel like you've got to get momentum, right? You got to fucking structure your life like that. It's going to be shit for about 3 months. And then once it's a part of your routine and it's just a part of your life, then you've got that momentum. I've been there before, but you fall out of it when fucking global pandemics happen and shit like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's like that Khabib thing. The point I'm making is, like, that was a realization of, like, yeah, you were at a point where you were working hard, and it was going in a direction. I won't say it was working. It was successful, but it was like, it was going in the right direction. But it doesn't take much for you to be derailed. And now when I look back at it, it sort of just opened the picture for me. It's like, you're not working anywhere near as hard as you were towards this goal as you were, say, 2 years ago. And it's like, I feel like those realizations are fucking gold.
But then if you have a look at that last 12 months, for example, since it's nearly coming up 12 months to it's just been over 12 months since our show at the Comedy Festival. When you look at what you've accomplished in that 12 months, you don't have an hour of comedy. What you do have is close to 50 hours of podcasts. You know what I mean? And within that, I'm sure there's a ton of really good shit. If you had the time to go through it, you could pick out lots of really cool stuff that you come up with during the conversations. You know
yeah, potentially.
I'm sure there is.
That's probably not a bad idea as well.
So check that out, because I think about that too. I haven't done a gig all year. I have not sung a fucking song since New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah, that was your last gig.
Yeah,
fuck man, this year's gone.
It's just been
ridiculous, hasn't it?
It's been crazy. But when I have a look at what I've accomplished over that year. Broken Hill, did a song with Amy, came home.
Yeah.
Sparkling Isolation by Luffigan with Amy V. Go and have a look.
Yeah, check that out.
And then I came home. We did a fucking video clip for that as well.
Yeah.
And then we started launching episodes of the podcast just before I left, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't, we gave ourselves a pat on the back last week for never missing a week. We haven't missed a week in 30 9 weeks, and we've also had, we've gotten a bit light on the after party shows for a little while just to give ourselves a bit of time to recharge and do our things.
Yeah.
But we've pumped out close to probably 50 hours because of if you can't count the after shows, maybe close to 60 hours worth of hilarious shit and some hopefully insightful stuff that people can check out. So when I think about what else I haven't done because I've just been at work, I've had 2 weeks off in the entire year, I go, you know what? We've created a thing that's been a really interesting time that I can go, at least I did something this year. I try to have at least one major achievement every year. Yeah. So last year, there was, I managed to get down, I did a album cover painting for a band and the comedy show. They were my 2 big things. This year, it was the song with Amy and the podcast. And the podcast continues to deliver because not only is it just one painting or one song, it's every fucking week. And there's always something cool. And I think it's been a very good cure for being a bit of a sad sack over the year to continually have a conversation every day, every week, to have a 1 hour long conversation with a person. Yeah. And just, we say dumb shit. I say dumb shit more often than normal people. You should hear the shit I don't say. Yeah. But to be able to fucking come and have a chat with somebody every week is just, everyone should do it. That's why everyone should have a podcast, just for their own fucking brains. It's a therapeutic situation.
Yeah, and there's no doubt that I've robbed Peter to pay Paul in the sense of
fuck Peter.
Yeah, fuck Peter and Paul.
And Paul, fuck you too, Paul.
So I've robbed Peter to pay Paul to make this podcast.
Yep.
But comedies suffer, but I couldn't do it anyway.
I don't think it's gonna. This is the thing. I may have suffered in the short term, but I feel like in the long run you're gonna get it. And it's not going to suffer in the long run. I think. Well, I feel like
on the maybe a different point that you're making on talking to someone for a week, but coming up with ideas on the spot and sort of we don't script anything in here. Yeah. We come in here. It's like, okay, it's the Halloween special. Yeah. We've managed to speak about cigarettes. I've gone pretty deep on this subject because it's literally that's how I felt this week. This whole week, I've been really. I got really emotional when Khabib won. Yeah. Just based on his entire fucking work ethic and the way if you haven't looked Khabib up, go and look up go watch some documentaries.
Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov. Dagestan, Russia. UFC fighter, champion. Yeah. Unbelievable story.
Yep.
Recently lost his dad.
Neck.
Incredible. Yeah.
Big, thick neck and big head. That guy's hairline, man, looks like you could put a Lego hat on it.
He transcended mixed martial arts. He's on a different level of fighting.
He's probably the GOAT, you would say, would you say?
Without a doubt. There's no argument against that because he dismantled Conor McGregor. Mm-hmm. He dismantled on the weekend the most dangerous motherfucker in the fucking world, in the lightweight division right now.
Yeah.
With ease, with a broken foot.
Jeez.
And just calmly did it. Calmly
in
just
choked
him
too.
out.
Was first round? First round or second round?
Second round.
Second round.
And he decided not to armbar him. He was in a perfect position for a fucking armbar from the top of the mount. Decided not to do that because his parents, the guy who was tapping out's parents were in the crowd and he didn't want to embarrass him in front and make him tap out.
Yeah, but he got him another. That's the thing is he's the kind of guy who can do it another way.
So he's like, I'll choke him. Because Gaethje helped him in his weight cut.
Sorry
nice
about that, boys. Sorry,
that's
thanks.
right. Yep. Gaethje helped him in his weight cut.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, I respect you for helping me in my weight cut, brother.
Yeah.
And it's like real humble fucking proper martial artist. He went through all this shit with Conor McGregor. Obviously, that went too far.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what he did was show the world how good he is at fighting, created a legacy, and showed people how to do it, how to go about it as well, as a fucking humble martial artist, human being as well, while representing his country and his parents, his family, and his fucking legacy. Yeah. All at one. Just nice, honest integrity.
Kind of annoys me that he didn't round it up to 30 at least fights.
Yeah, that annoys
29,
a lot of people.
Fucking 29-0. Just go through one more. Mm-hmm. But, it is the Spooktacular, Cody, so I'd like you to pick me a beer here. Should I go for the Jungle Juice by Dainton or should I go for the Hawker's IPA?
Go for the Hawker's IPA. Because Hawker's is a, can I just say, the Hawker's Brewery is a fantastic brewery.
Wow.
And they're in no way affiliated with the podcast.
That's
but
right.
I can tell you what, they're lovely. And if they ever want to send us any, free beers or, free tickets to Bruce Springsteen or something like that.
We want to see the boss and we want you to pay for it.
No, really good brewery. I've had a couple of great beers, so let me know what you think of that one there, Broden.
I've been a fan of this one for quite a while. It's one of it's like
I haven't had that.
I don't want to contaminate you with my
No, we can't do that for
18.
COVID. Yeah,
no, it's curable. This one 18's curable.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
But so
it's fantastic.
It's fantastic in Regeneron. So it is a spooktacular, and I do have some things here, and I've got something for you if you want to put it on while we do this. Yeah. So just 1 second, I'll quickly grab that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Cody, I've got myself a mask, but I've also brought something for you to put on because I know that you want to dress up like Thor. So I bought you a Thor mask.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I'm just going to. Sorry, Cody, you can check that.
Jesus Christ!
I'll go to the wide shot here so I can.
What is that?
Well, that's a Thor mask from the supermarket. That's licensed property. That one's real. So all right, and then I'm going to put on this mask here that my father graciously gave to me. He didn't want to give it to me. I kind of took it, but he got it from a garage sale, and it's like a big Terminator, fake Terminator. So I'll just quickly chuck this on.
Yeah, go the Terminator, man. I can't do it, though.
But hang on one sec. All right. I'm going to go to my camera here.
Yeah.
So, check that out. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do I sound great? I obviously can't fit my headphones on. Yeah.
Great isn't a...
One of the words you would use for that? Hello. So
not
basically, for anyone listening, I've got a giant Terminator head on with glowing red eyes, and it's probably the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. But check it out. It does gun noises too. Ready? Get ready. Can you hear that?
It's so fucking... It's just so... quiet.
Say it, you won't
it's just so quiet. And
wait.
Can you see me through that? If you're watching the live version of this, if you're watching the premiere, let us know what you think Broden looks like in that.
And how do I sound too? Do I sound sick? Because in my head it sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, in your head only it sounds awesome. In our heads it sounds real bad and distorted.
That's okay. But no, I think it's cool. I like it. I'm gonna wear this down the street, I think.
Yeah, that's a face covering.
I reckon that. Yeah, I reckon they'd let me into the supermarket with this on.
Yeah, they'd have to. COVID-19.
That's it. But no, that's one of the coolest things in the world, that hat.
Yeah, it looks really it's like those space alien.
Well, I love Terminator. I'm a big Terminator fan. So
yeah.
I think it's I'm going to turn this fucker off because it's actually a going to just wheeze the batteries out of there. But so Cody, I bought those obviously for us to wear if we want to wear them. We can spook a couple of people out.
Is it really? Well, this Terminator one's spooky. I don't reckon the fucking hat you got me was very spooky.
What are you talking about? That's Thor. He's spooky as fuck. Look at him. Look at that. Imagine Chris Hemsworth wearing that. That'd look fine. You wearing that's fucking scary because like, why is this fully grown man wearing a half face covering slightly too small child's toy from the supermarket?
Get away from him, kids.
Yeah, and put the fucking crowbar down. What are you doing? So we've bought a couple of little treats here.
Yeah. So what have you got here?
I'm going to unveil those in a minute, but I wanted to just read you some spooky stories.
Go on. Now, it's the Halloween spectacular.
And these aren't my stories. These are directly from Ask Reddit.
Right.
Okay, and I don't even know if they're very scary, but let's go. All right.
Down low.
So here's the first spooky story, guys. Okay, Pokemon Go has changed a lot in 4 years. Rediscover the... Oh, that's an ad. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, so the thread on Ask Reddit is serious. What's the creepiest, most blood-chilling thing you or someone you know has ever experienced?
Cool.
Now let's read the first one, okay? About 10 years ago. Hang on, wait. About 10 years ago, I took my dog out for a short walk. We lived in a rundown but historic part of old townhouses. One more time. Okay, well, let's go from the start. About 10 years ago, I took my dog out. The intro music. For a short walk. We lived in a rundown but historic part of town. Old houses that are either beautifully maintained, abandoned, or generally going to shit. There was a good mix of people in that neighbourhood. Anyway. What? That's irrelevant. Anyway. Walking the dog. I get about...
Some gays have written this on Reddit.
Yeah. It's just they're not really well versed. Anyway. Walking the dog. I get about 3 or 4 horses down. and stop at the corner while Pony sniffs some grass or whatever. I don't know why I'm doing it in Garth Marenghi's voice.
You're doing a Garth Marenghi's. It was a dark place.
I turn around and suddenly there's a man standing way too close to me. No idea where he came from. I'm usually aware of my surroundings, but Pony hated strange men. I stumble a few steps back. I immediately had this absolute bone-chilling sick feeling. He asked me, "Is that a pit bull?" And I replied, "Yes." He then said, "Oh, she'll protect you." At this point, my body flooded with adrenaline, and I turned to run back to my house. I saw my mum standing on the porch and thought to yell to her. She had no reason to come out on the porch. Honestly, I think she had a bad feeling. I don't know what good me yelling really did that day, but it was all I could think to do. Like, hey, look, I'm over here. I've never had such a flight or fight response like that in my entire life since that encounter. And then the first comment is, Pony is an interesting name for a dog. That's the story. That's the story. Are you fucking spooked?
Whoa! Fucking hell! Really? Is that a spooky one?
This is people's personal experiences, I suppose. What's the creepiest, most blood chilling thing you've ever? Okay.
Remember those like stupid old? Did you ever hear one of those like stupid old bollocks haunted creepy stories like
Goosebumps or something, or
no, like the real ones. They're meant to be folklore. Fucking like it was actually they're meant to be true.
Yeah,
like they buried the person and
fucking classic, and then he came back to life.
And they tied a bell to their fingers above the grave, and then the bell would ring every night at one. So the person was on a fucking schedule. They weren't just freaking out, going, "Hey, I'm still alive! I'm still alive!"
You got a story for us?
And then I've got one for you.
Yeah.
And then because they tie their finger to a bell and then bury him and keep the bell above the ground.
Oh, so they can.
And then every night at 3 a.m. in the morning, the bell would ding twice.
Ding.
But it would, my question for that, and then they dug the grave up and there were scratch marks all over the coffin. It was like, so they weren't on a fucking. They didn't have their watch down there going, "Oh, it's 3
3 o'clock, bing, bing, bing." Yeah,
anyway,
that's when they'll be awake and listening. Read us your spooky story.
All right, I got one for you.
Hang on.
When I was about 6 or 7, no,
that's not scary enough.
When I was about 6 or 7,
yeah,
we had this neighbour that would regularly try to invite me over for cake and candy, or to play with the dogs he owned. My parents didn't trust him, so of course, invites were declined.
You write invitations.
Years later, we learned that he regularly raped his 12-year-old step.
Holy fuck! Whoa! Hang on a minute. I didn't bring a proof. I didn't read this one first. I haven't read any of these. So you got to.
No, we got to fucking finish it.
Okay.
All right. I didn't. Broden handed me the phone.
I just gave him the phone and said, "Read the next one."
Read the next one. All right. So we didn't plan this.
Yeah.
So whatever happens is at no fault of our own.
It's Reddit's fault.
We are just relaying Reddit things. All right. Okay. So where was I?
Yeah. The rape.
Yeah. My parents didn't trust him, so of course invites were declined. Years later, we learned that he regularly raped his 12-year-old stepdaughter and got her pregnant. When he went to trial, it was revealed that there were 4 other young girls in his past that he had abused.
Jesus, I'm sorry I gave you that one. That's horrible. I should have read any of these first. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody.
I thought that was a fucking classic stitch up. I'm going to be cancelled.
I didn't mean it.
I will be cancelled for that.
Cody, please. That was a complete accident. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to read the very next one. This is from Born to Do Dishes on Reddit. Imagine I'm burped. Oh, if your name was Born to Do Dishes, okay.
It's never a good idea to do Reddit ones.
That was bad idea.
Oh, Christ. That was bone chilling.
It was bone chilling, yeah. Okay, when I was 6... Why are we doing that voice?
I don't know, but it's creepy.
When I was 16, my parents went out of town for the weekend. It was actually pretty sweet because I got to be king of the castle for the weekend. So I get home that Friday night and just stick around, internet, video games, etc. And start watching TV around dusk. The way our living room was set up, that there was a set of glass doors next to the television that looked out to the backyard and the porch. The backyard was surrounded by ivy that grew on a hill around 45-degree angle. So I just mindlessly started channel surfing and I see some movement outside. At first I dismiss it, thinking it's a bird or neighbourhood cat or some kind of bastard. He didn't say that, I just made that up. But then I noticed that whatever's moving is way bigger than a bird or a cat. I go and put my face near the glass and stare into the backyard. And there's some dude just crouching in front of the ivy looking into the house. Our eyes meet, and he has somewhat of an oh shit moment and bolts out of our yard. Scared the shit out of me. These are shit. I was hoping for fucking and a ghost came out and then he said, I've come to fucking kill you, mate.
Do you know anyone that's seen a ghost?
Yeah, I do. I've seen what I thought was a ghost.
Really?
I have. And this is, it's probably just, past trauma or whatever.
It's bollocks, yeah.
Who knows, realistically. Yeah. But either way, a friend of ours had just died and been run over by a train. Now, here's the first fucked up part. Right. I got a phone call from this guy about 6 o'clock, and we had a chat about. I lent him a Black Sabbath CD, burnt him a copy. I gave him a legitimate copy as a gift.
Yeah.
And
bleeding edge.
And we talked about it, and I said hello and stuff like that. And he was asking for my brother, and he wasn't there, so he goes, no problems. I'll talk to you later. Hung up the phone. My mum had rung that very moment and said to me, "It's about whose name I won't say." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" I just talked to him, and she's like, "He died an hour ago." And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, he was hit by a train. And I was like, you fucking... I hung the phone up. And I just was like...
Yeah, right.
And then I swore I fucking saw him a couple of weeks later. But I obviously didn't. And I swear that was him on the phone. I swear it was him on the phone to my fucking dying breath. But it was fucked up. It was fucked up.
What other explanations could there possibly be?
I don't know, because I talked to him on the phone. I talked to him on the phone. There's no reason for me to lie about that. There's nothing that makes me sound cool or anything, or to win friends or any of that dumb shit that people lie for. There's no reason for me to make that up. And literally, I said it to my mum when she called me. I'm like, no, I just talked to him. She's like, no. It was like an hour or so ago. The scene's already there and whatever. And it was fucked up. I got one other one, and I don't know how much of this I can discuss because I think it's still a case happening.
Well, don't.
But, can you not say anything?
If it's still an open case,
I don't know how open it is. All right. I'll elaborate on. Let's just say.
Don't mention any names.
I mention no names. We'll just mention situations. All right?
Yeah. All right. Go and Fred and George.
There was once. Okay. There was one. Hang on. There was once a very sexy young man who was so great and everybody loved him. And he was so cool. And then this one guy who he used to do a bit of stuff at the normal shop for started emailing him a lot about potential work. And he was like, sorry, bro, can't help. But he kept emailing him anyway. And it got weird. So he went to the police and was like, this is weird. What do I do? And the cop at the front of the counter goes, he hasn't done anything. Why did he come to your house or something? No. Well, then fucking go home and stop being such a bitch. And you're like, okay, I suppose I just won't write back. Then, years later, it got to be a bit of a problem, you know what I mean, at that point. And then, a couple of years later, the sexy young man saw an article in the newspaper and goes, I know that house, I know that car. Holy fuck. Murder in town. Murder in town. And he goes, he's finally done it.
Yep, carry on.
And so turned out that this person who had been frantically emailing this particular other person about certain things had killed a woman in his home. And the thing about that, which was kind of confronting, is that the situation in which arose about the original emails being kind of confronting and hang on a minute, the person in question who was receiving the emails decided maybe the internet's not for me. Maybe I shouldn't share everything about my family and about my relationships and about where I work and what I'm doing, because people can be crazy people who want to find you and get you to do things for them.
Yeah.
And so the person's modified their behavior greatly in fear of things like this particular person, and perhaps drug-induced psychopathic estranged brothers that may have threatened to cut off their dogs' heads and impale their girlfriend, all this kind of weird shit. So you get off the internet and you don't be a part of that, and then you find out a couple of years later, this guy finds out that this person's killed someone in their house. So they go back to the police station and they say to the police, "Listen up here, I've got some fucking evidence for a murder." And the guy goes, "Oh, fuck, these emails are a bit old."
Yeah.
Same fucking guy. The same guy at the counter. And you go, "Yeah, maybe if you listened 2 fucking years ago, somebody wouldn't be dead, you fucking dickhead."
Fuck. Yeah.
And that's spooky.
Negligence.
Well, I mean, you can't. If someone's going to kill someone, they're going to fucking probably going to do it. But it's a spooky, scary, confronting, and very traumatizing situation. Imagine seeing somebody. Imagine seeing somebody that was so physically intimidating to you that you dropped all of your stuff in the Aldi and walked out and said, "We're going."
Yeah,
that's how bad this story of these people went.
Yeah, geez.
It's fucked up stuff. But I mean, like at the end of the day, they didn't need the person who was stalked's evidence on character, because essentially they got a confession and a body at the home. Fucked up stuff, guys. If that ain't fucking spooky, I don't know what is.
That is spooky. Yeah, that's real life.
Lucky it's not a real story that happened to anybody.
I keep getting messages. So.
Yeah, that's all right, boys. You know what? You're allowed to have a life and you're allowed to bloody get messages, as long as they're not from psychopaths that, claim that you don't have the time or resources to fully understand. There's some messages, there's some things that could be said. There won't be, but otherwise, we have a couple of props here. This is a haunted screwdriver. In fact, we'll get to that in a moment. We're going to tell a bit of an improv horror story. I think would be the best thing to do with that. Yeah, and then this one's actually an interesting one, Cody, because this one was from my days of occult. This is the days of the occult. I was very big into the occult. Especially Voodoo, and this box hasn't been opened since last time it was used.
Okay,
it only was used once, and the reason it's not used anymore is because it worked too well.
All right, go on. Show me what it's all about.
For the viewers, it's a box. It's about 8 inches long, about 3 inches wide. Would you say? I don't know how much is an inch? 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's about a foot by half a foot.
Yeah, it's not a school ruler. A school ruler is a foot. Let's just say it's a small wooden box, kind of like the one in Jumanji.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Anyway, so this is going to be the first time I've opened this box, okay?
All right. Oh, what is...
See all this?
Yeah.
Anybody watching, hang on, I'm going to get onto the camera.
The fuck is that?
This is the special Voodoo box. It's only been used once. You can see all these empty souls here. These individual empty shells. And there's things in here like, different eyes and stuff. There's a whole bag of different eyes that you can use to create your voodoo doll. So basically what you do is you take your blank doll like this and you paint it to look like whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
And then the way you get it to turn into that person is to take the painted doll like this, and somehow just really quickly get it up their bum and then pull it out real quick.
Yeah.
And so, as you can see, this is a doll of me. I don't know, we can go back here. This is a doll of me. And it worked so good that I have to keep it in this box forever.
You put it up your bum. You could feel it.
Well, that was the thing, is that, I had... it went up there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And the trick with this voodoo doll is that its bum was going to be sore. And that was the joke. And once the voodoo doll went up the bum of the person's bum really was sore. Worked too good.
Yeah.
And that's why none of these other voodoo dolls have been painted. There's all sizes.
There's bigger ones, yeah.
There's big ones, there's little ones. I mean, just depends on how bad you want to get the person. But
fuck are they?
You can put little eyes on them and stuff.
Oh, Christ.
So like you can make them, if you don't want them to sleep, you give them really big eyes, like big googly eyes, so that they can stay up for like days, because I'll never sleep again. You can hurt them by burning them and stuff. And it's a spooky box of voodoo.
That is the spookiest thing for the night.
I think so. And then there's, hang on, There's one up there. But that's spooky as hell. And then this screwdriver is the spookiest screwdriver in the world. It was haunted because it's the screwdriver
that you put up your ass.
No, it's different to that. It's different to that. This is the screwdriver. This is a super spooky screwdriver because it is the same screwdriver that the Phantom Foot Tickler in Bendigo used to use to bust into people's houses. And one day he busted into a person who was dead's house, and they had just died that day. Yep. No one knew about it yet. And so what happened is the Phantom Foot Tickler, he popped open the window with this. He's gone open the window. He's gone. Because he used to make that noise when he'd go in because he'd lick the feet.
Yeah, he's a dirty, horrible.
And then popped open the window. And he opens the window and he goes in there and he sees someone in there who's dead. And he grabbed this and he poked them in the toe to see if they would move, and they didn't move. But when he did that, their soul attached to this screwdriver.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gave their foot a quick tickle and a quick lick, and he was like,
that's fucking horrid.
And he did that for a little 5 or 6 minutes or whatever. And he's like, they're really cold. Hang on, these are colder than usual. And then he was like, oh, fuck, I got to get out of here. And then he wiped his DNA off it or whatever. I don't know if they had DNA in 95. And then he got out and he took his screwdriver with him. But the problem was, he said this screwdriver was haunted with the ghost of the person whose feet he licked. And then he had to chuck it away, right?
Where'd you find it?
He gave it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who is it? Your mate? Your friend?
That's not me. No, I found it on the ground out the front of Paint Right in Golden Square.
Yeah.
Near the video shop where he worked.
Oh, yeah. Is that where
I'm pretty sure that's where he worked. Yeah. I don't know the history. And I found it there and I picked it up and I was like, oh, you got to be careful with that one. Some guy goes in the back and I hopped up in the alleyway and I said to the bloke, what do you mean? And he goes, you want to watch out for that? That's the haunted screwdriver. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, it used to belong to the Phantom Foot Tickler, you see. He busted into a house with a deadie in it, touched their toes with it, and their soul transferred onto the screwdriver. I'm like, how do you know all this, old wise man? And he said... It
all happened in old England.
And I looked up, and he'd vanished. He was gone. The spookiest fucking moment of my life. And then my dog Pony ran away.
Fuck. Well, that was a really, really spooky spooktacular.
Yeah.
I can say
spectacular. Do you need a piss really bad too?
I do. We got to wrap it.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
No, it's long enough for an episode. Hey,
it'll do.
Thanks, piece of shits for hanging in there, and listening to this episode. What episode?
39. Thanks for sticking around for the last 5 minutes of Spooktacular.
It was a Spooktacular.
Lots of Khabib, lots of other stuff there, but we love you all. And if you want to check out some more things, patrons, I'm still thinking of you. There's still a few things on the way. I'm just biding my time. I want to get this done right. I want to get some stuff for the patrons.
Yep. Head over to Patreon.com and search for the Flow State Podcast. Become a patron for as little as $1 a month. United States.
Jeez, I'm pasty. I look like a pasty ghost.
And you do look like a bit of a fucking pasty.
I'm a fat pasty ghost.
And big thanks to everyone for listening to the podcast all over the world.
Yep.
Make sure you get in touch with us. Send us a message. Let us know what you think of all the podcasts when you listen to them. Big thanks to Mudsy's Audio Solutions, the sponsor of the show. If you want to sponsor the podcast, reach out. We'll help you out. You'll help us out. It'll be a great time.
Yeah.
Hit us up today, right now.
Yeah, do it right now. Don't even close this window off until... We'll wait. We'll sit here and we'll wait. We're waiting for inboxes now. Okay, ready?
I got to piss.
Come on. I got to piss. I got to piss too. Hey, thanks so much, guys. We're on all the platforms. We're just trying to be famous and get a heap of money for not having to go to work. So just fucking help us out. Catch you later, piece of shits. Enjoy. Belt it up, you bloody bumholes. And we'll see ya next week in episode fucking 40.
Belt it up your ass. Belt it.